Hello everyone, my name is Tina May and I am 18 years old. I would like to talk about my disability. I have spinal muscular atrophy type 2. Spinal muscular atrophy is a muscle wastage condition. It means that all the muscles in your body are weak, and as you get older you get weaker. There's 3 types. Type 1 is more severe because when you're born you're already affected, and some children don't live for very long with type 1. Type 2 is actually not that bad, but the only problem is type 2, as we get older we get weaker. So like you start off with your legs going weak, and then the whole body goes weak as you get older. Type 3 is not as severe. You can walk, but as you get older you start to notice it a little bit. I have type 2, which means most of my body is weak. My legs, my arms and my neck are weak. I've always used a wheelchair, and I've never been able to walk. Sometimes people with spinal muscular atrophy, it depends on how affected they get, but for me, I noticed when my arms started to get weak. I can't lift my arms up anymore like I used to. Having spinal muscular atrophy, we are able to use an electric wheelchair to get around, because even though we have weak muscles, we still want to be able to get around, and I've always used a wheelchair to get around. It's very, very good to use a wheelchair, electric wheelchair. People with spinal muscular atrophy are very, very bright. They're very, very there's no problems with their intellects. We're very, very aware of what's going on and what's happening, and so it's very good that we've got our mind to help us through. I go to school and I'm very independent as much as I can be. When I was 11 I had a back operation, because with spinal muscular atrophy you do get scoliosis. My spine was very, very curved, and it was crushing my lungs, and it was making it very hard for me to breathe. So I had to have that as an emergency. It was something that I had to have done. I use a BiPAP machine, which helps me sleep because my lungs are weak, and if I'm asleep I might not breathe properly because I'm asleep and my whole body is relaxed, so my lungs are weak and I won't be able to breathe properly. So my BiPAP just helps my lungs with my breathing. I also have a cough machine. The cough machine helps me if I've got a cold or anything in my chest. Because of my muscle weakness, I can't cough it up myself. So the cough machine helps me cough. I have it every day to make sure that my lungs are clear and to give exercise to my lungs so that they're good, so that they're healthy. Yeah, so that's just my point of view with my spinal muscular atrophy. The challenges with spinal muscular atrophy is that you can't. There are a few things that you can't do. Like I don't normally focus on the things that I can't do, but the things that frustrate me the most is when I can't actually lift something up, like when I'm trying to eat or something, because my arms are so weak. Sometimes I find it really frustrating when I have to eat and my arms are weak and I can't even reach my mouth. So I have to have something under my arm to give me that extra height so that I can actually eat, because my arms are weak. And if I'm not in a good position, I am now, but if I was laying down or if I was not in a good position, I can't hold my head up properly. My head will just flop because my muscles in my neck are also very weak. The positive sides of having my condition is that I can tell people what I want and how I want it. I've got my voice helps me go, my voice helps me a lot, and my mind as well. I'm very, very good with thinking about planning things, making sure that, I've got lots of, I'm thinking ahead and that. So that's good. What else? I've never really had any problems with most of my condition, but I try and stay positive as I can. I try not to let my disability let me down. I try not to think about I try not to think about me having a disability very much. I mainly just think of me just as me. I don't think about me having a disability because you don't really think about that thing very much. You just worry about what you're doing and your day-to-day life, and you don't really worry about your disability. I'm very aware about people asking me about my disability because it's a very uncommon disability. People might not understand about it, so that's why I like to give them a little bit of a bit of a explanation about it, because it is quite difficult to understand sometimes. But all I have to say is just to do with muscle weakness, really. It's just it's a long time condition. Like, it's never gonna get better. It's not gonna. There's no cure for it. So yeah. So it's not as common, but it's very yeah. So I just wanted to tell you about it because this is my first video about SMA. And I am hoping that people with SMA can watch this video and get some ideas and that. And if you ever want any questions, you can comment down the bottom if you want some questions, because I'm good at answering questions. Well, that's all I've got to say about my condition at the moment. Please watch my videos because they are very good, and I want people to know what it's like to have SMA and what it's like to live with SMA, and hopefully you'll get an idea on what it's like. And for people that don't know, have never heard of SMA, can watch my video and they can ask me questions about it. And yeah, so please watch my video and comment down below if you have any questions.